Problems on primary day cause frustration and cast a shadow on the upcoming general election. Welcome back. I'm Dick Brennan in for Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. Yesterday's primary election saw a myriad of problems, from closed poll locations to missing ballots.
CBS News' Jessica Moore looks at what went wrong and needs to change before November.
They had no idea what they were doing, the people that were working the polls.
Chaos during yesterday's primary election, with voters complaining of untrained poll workers and half ballots.
What about the local election? Did you get a ballot for that?
I got no ballot for the local election.
Add to that missing absentee ballots, last-minute polling location changes, and voting lines that snaked around the block across New York City.
Yesterday is what happens when you try to make a lot of changes to elections in a very short period of time.
Voting rights advocate Perry Grossman says the changes were necessary to protect voters during the pandemic, but he worries about a system that isn't equipped to handle the new norm, especially come November.
There was a real difficulty, again, recruiting and training poll workers because of the pandemic. So much of the poll worker workforce is people who are COVID vulnerable. So you're seeing a lot of those experienced poll workers drop out.
Grossman says lawmakers must ensure all voters have access to absentee ballots in November, and is calling on the Board of Elections to refine the system that processes them.
We don't want people disenfranchised because they're dealing with a vote by mail process for the first time. And at Election Day, we've really got to invest in poll worker training and poll worker recruitment.
November's coming. We know this was rough based on the pandemic, but we just have to do better.
We asked the Board of Elections whether it plans to improve poll worker training and refine the method of processing absentee ballots, but they could not give us an answer. Another big issue, poll workers were late to polling places because of the MTA's overnight shutdown, something public advocate Jumaane Williams says Albany needs to address before November. In Manhattan, Jessica Moore, CBS 2 News.
Now, the Board of Elections says roughly 765,000 absentee ballots were distributed in the city. Those ballots will be accepted until June 30th. No word on how long it will take to tally those votes.